Namaste, good morning, Sitaram. Well, here am I. This is Goose Pond, and it's a beautiful place, little island there. And I just want to welcome you again to this early morning. It's a little cloudy here in Jamaica, Queens, New York, but the sun will be coming up shortly, and it will be a bright, beautiful day. Trees are nice, big trees are coming on. Flowers on those trees, see them? Beautiful flowers. And birds are chirping, quiet and peaceful. Well, I just did a nice hour and a half of yoga starting at 4, and then a good relaxation. And in that relaxation, during the yoga, the body is energized externally, internally, the muscles, the nervous system, the digestive system, the elimination system. They're at peak performance and energy is flowing. So when I lie on my back for the relaxation, the first thing I do to the power of mind, I let the body, let the ground support the body and let go of the body. And then I will go to the sequence of relaxing the body from the toes to the head, externally, internally. And then finally, I will exit the body, the energy from my body that has been flowing from the yoga and relaxation. It will exit at the top of my head and it will go into earth atmosphere and then dissipate into space. When this energy goes into space, it automatically becomes consciousness. The body, mind, intellect, and ego no longer exist, and you exist as consciousness. What a beautiful feeling, and this is really the goal of life. Someday I hit it off, and someday you don't. But when you do, that bliss, Satchidanand, truth, consciousness, and bliss, is the description of that state of consciousness. This morning we'll talk about the power and the need of a spiritual master. Because it has a saying that you can't solve a problem with the mind, same mind that created it. Meaning that in our lifetime we have to create a mind that is conducive and receptive for everything that is divine. And so this spiritual master, you need somebody like that. And just to give you an idea what a spiritual master is capable of doing, they don't have to have a body. Swami Pranavananda, he took birth in 1896. He got God realization in 1917, meaning that he was in the body, but he was all over the universe. So he knew that what was going on. And he left his body in 1941. But he said, I'm going to guide my Shanga, Bharat Seva Ashram Sheng, from behind the curtain, meaning that he's going to communicate through many ways. And yes, he did. I could remember he can go in your sleep and you not doing it, which he did in 1991. And just by that, going to bed, living a normal life before that, and wake up in the morning, and there's a transformation. Never thought of us being a Swamiji, but this is how spiritual masters work. They know who's ready for this life, and they pluck you out of this mundane life, so that spiritual master can do that, no one else. And we have to know if we are a spiritual master or not. We can't pretend to be one. We can say, that is something we have to be careful, otherwise the ego can destroy us and destroy society. Anyway, from then onwards, he's got me going and doing things, and finally he brought me to the ashram in Jamaica, Queens. It was in a 2-car garage. And when I saw the photo of him, automatically I know, oh, this is the person that did this, plucked me out of mundane life. And then I got into the ashram in Jamaica, Queens. It was just about then we bought a Jewish synagogue, and my expertise, the Guru Swami Padmanabhan knew that I'll be the right person for that. With my expertise as a financial controller, I did all the administration and all the cleaning and cooking, because the Swamiji said, look, you have to follow, you have to have faith in me, who was in charge, Swami Vidyanand. You have to have faith in me. And he said to me, you don't need to really need to read books now. I didn't understand what he meant by, but I follow. And then 2 years after, we started summer camp. We started training people to become citizens. We did opened up a vegetarian shop in the ashram. We did a parking lot where we got income, and so many other activities, because our Bharat Seva Ashram is activities. Preaching Sunday morning and just doing the festivals, yes, that's necessary. And that's what society wants, so you have to give it to them. But the true power and the true composition of Bharat Seva Ashram is activities, serving the poor, serving the rich, in any capacity, going to place of pilgrimage. So this kind of experience that I had. So one day Swamiji says, read Bhagavad Gita. After like 2 years, and I started reading, so I stopped. And he says, why are you stopping? I said, Swamiji, I don't know, I know this already. For some reason, I've noticed what I'm reading here. So he says, well, if you didn't read it, how are you going to know it? And then he explained to me, you see, that knowledge, true wisdom, true divine knowledge can only be transmitted. Reading the books is academia, and it's superficial. You can preach it, you're an expert of it. But when you become the scriptures, that is spiritual life. And this spiritual life continue and so on. And the Guru, the spiritual master, again comes in, and he's guiding, and he will, through controversy, I was sent to India. There I got initiated as an official monk of the ashram, and then from then on, Guruji continues. He communicates through dreams, he communicates through, and I'm doing meditation, so many occasions. And he communicates by putting me in the right place at the right time. He's not physically there, but he's working. And that happens a couple of times, that I'm standing in the street waiting for the bus, the gentleman picks me up. He hears what the Bhartas what I'm doing, and Bharat Seva Ashram is doing, and he says, I want you to go to Guyana and take care of my village. Okay. When can you go, Swamiji? He says, I said, okay, in 5 days. I'm on the plane. He bought the ticket and says, go there. Money is not a problem. And we went there and cleaned out the village. We found people who were neglected, abused, and we were able to take care of that. Other times I'm walking in the street, just going into a mandir, and when I go there, I see the photo of Swami Padmanabhanandaji there. So they asked me that, Swamiji, the president was there that Saturday morning. He said, Swamiji, why don't you come and do our pravachan or lecture tomorrow morning? And I was so happy to do it. I made cancellation to my other programs. And then I went there. And from there, a gentleman said to me, listen, I want you to meet a friend of mine. He's in the Empire State Building. And he's very powerful. So I went and I saw him the 2 days after. And then he said, Swamiji, the same day I went, he said, come with me, I'm going to the United Nations. And I'll get your pass, you'll go and we'll listen to a nice lecture there on the ECOSOC and the development goals. That was nicely, I was very impressed. But many people were there and they gave me the cards because I said a few words and I guess they were impressed. And they gave me the card. But one lady, I was very impressed with her, and she says, Swamiji, come and give a little talk here in 2 weeks, in 1 week rather, and it's a whole day session. And I did. And I was walking out to going for my lunch at Manhattan, Forest Avenue, 44th Street. A gentleman came to me, Paul Sherable, and he says, oh, Swamiji, I was in your ashram in Kolkata just 1 week ago. And I want you to come and meet my boss upstairs. I didn't know why, but when I went there, 10 minutes after, I was asked to go to Kyoto, Japan. Well, I made ways to go there and on the plane in 1 week's time and go into Kyoto, Japan, spoke there, and this was sponsored by the King of Jordan, 8,000 people. And from there, getting cards, got another card, and one lady, she said, come and see me when you come back to New York. I didn't think much about it, but I was walking around 60th Street and 2nd Avenue, and there I thought, oh, let me go see her. When I went in there, little conversation, Swamiji, can you go with us to Syria and Lebanon? I'm taking a high-level religious spiritual leader of different faiths. Okay, I'm there. I'm on the plane again. They got a visa. I'm on the plane. So this, we're doing conflict resolution in Syria and Lebanon, and so much experiences. My point is that spiritual masters, they operate so, you can't, a human being cannot comprehend it. But you have to let go and allow. Let go of your simple life, mundane life, and allow divine will to take its form. Let divine will operate. And there were so much miracles that happened, that I call them miracles, that I went to Trinidad one time in 2009, I think, and we did a nice session there. And I had to go to Guyana, but they asked me to come back for a function there. After I'm through with Guyana, I tried my best, but I couldn't. Here's a nice crane, oh, beautiful crane. Isn't that so sweet? Look at this. The birds are coming out. You see the crane there? I haven't seen him for a while, but he's a loner. He comes all the time, and he's so majestic. And he gets his food, he pushes his neck, and he sees he's so calm when he's hunting for the fish. Puts his head there, and then he sees the fish and plucks them out, and that's how he gets his food. Anyway, going back to the story, so I couldn't come back to Trinidad. So I joined a plane from Guyana to New York, skipping over Trinidad. 2 hours after I passed Trinidad, the plane started banking. Pilot says, we got to go back to Trinidad. We reached there, and it was just about right time to go and attend the function at Trinidad, our ashram. As soon as I was done, rushed back to the plane and took it back. Now, who is doing this? It's the Guru, the spiritual master, Swami Pranavanandaji. So today I am thinking that this is why it's so important to have that spiritual master. And when the disciple is ready, the Guru will appear, the spiritual masters appear. COVID is a way to prepare us for this. We have all the time in the world. Let us not waste it. Let us not try to stay away from having thoughts that will destroy you. They said that wisdom is avoid thoughts that weaken you. So have high thoughts, let the weak thoughts go aside. Move forward, create a bonding with the family. Try not to abuse the alcohol, because that is a destructive force. It destroys you and the family bonding and everybody around you. Try to be less of that. Do everything in moderation, and you'll see how you'll make something positive of all of this that's going on. Observe the rules, get a good balance in terms of protecting yourself and looking forward to go back into the workforce. These words, I say thank you and have a blessed day. Jai Guru Om.